Greetings. My name is Jack Cashone. I'm the guest speaker that will be talking on the subject of Revelation, Genesis, and discovery of the Joshua Tablet. This will take place at Ratio Christi on the campus of the University of Arizona on Tuesday, November 8th at 5 p.m. We hope you can attend. Now, naturally, the question is, what is the Joshua Tablet? Well, it was found at the archaeological site of the most important altar in the Bible, second only to the tabernacle and then later the temple. The Joshua Tablet is a curse tablet written on lead in Proto-Archaic Hebrew. It was excavated at the dedication altar. That's how this altar was built. It was built as a dedication of the state of Israel when the children of Israel crossed the desert, and there they built this altar at the command of God on Mount Ebal. And here, Dr. Scott Stripling, in his recent excavations, announced the discovery of the Joshua Tablet on March 29, 2022. Now, accounts of this altar are written in Deuteronomy 11, 29 through 30, Deuteronomy 27, verse 1 through chapter 28, verse 14, and Joshua chapter 8, 30 through 35. So it has quite a bit of information that can be found in the Bible about this particular altar. Now, this is the current location where the excavation took place in modern-day Israel. And you can see all the spots locating the various famous and historic sites. And they include the Samaritan Temple that's right there on Mount Gerizim, or right by Mount Gerizim. And there's the ruins of the Samaritan Temple there. There's Mount Gerizim, the official location. And there's the city of Shechem that is regularly mentioned in the Old Testament. And then this is Mount Ebal, and over here is Sychar. We've heard about that. And Jacob's Well is over here. And the discovery was made right over there on top of Mount Ebal. Here's a picture of Dr. Stripling being interviewed in Israel. There's Hebrew at the bottom. And there in the background you can see as a monument dedicated to the events taking place there over the centuries. And then the excavation site is off to the side here. And here's another picture of his team performing what is called wet sifting, of which Dr. Stripling is an expert on this subject. And this is the process he used to find the Joshua Tablet. Now, what does it look like? And here is a picture. It's obviously blown up. And they've highlighted what are some of the markings on the surface of it. These are not nearly as important as what's inside. It's written in Proto-Archaic Hebrew. And here's the actual size of it. It's called a curse tablet. And that means they wrote an inscription on it, a curse that was written on the tablet, then folded over and then thrown at the altar. And then has been recovered. The date of this object is somewhere between the 13th and 11th century BC, which means it most likely was written at the actual time of the event. Here's another picture of it, blown up obviously in centimeters. You can see the size of it. It would be twice this size if you could open it up. Notice there's this crack line right here. This is where it's folded over. And they can't open it because it would crumble. So they took it to a special laboratory where they do tomography, a special X-ray technique, and they X-ray the layers right through the metal till they get to the actual words or the inscription in the lead. And then they found this fabulous inscription on the inside. And now, here are 7 facts about the Joshua Tablet that we're going to be discussing. First, the recently discovered Joshua Tablet is written in Hebraic meter and this is found only in the Bible, and it's going to be discussed at our presentation as it appears in Genesis to Revelation. Second, the Joshua tablet is the oldest Hebrew text, as I said, dating from the 13th to the 11th century BC. Third, the Joshua tablet is further evidence that we actually have the original 3,500-year-old text of Genesis. Fourth, while the Egyptians were building ornate tombs and monuments dedicated as their portal to enter into the afterlife, the Hebrews were writing and designing words that would be their portal to God, to heaven, and to the afterlife with Him. The Joshua tablet, its existence, proves that ancient Hebrew had a far greater influence on the New Testament than is currently realized. Also, the book of Revelation is based on the first 5 books of the Bible, known as the Torah, written by Moses. Therefore, the Bible begins and ends in the same way it was written. And then the Joshua tablet, and this is really significant, is the only eyewitness account that we have to this day, the only one that's known, of an event that actually took place in the Bible that's written outside of the Bible. This is indeed exciting information, and there's a lot to be said about this. On Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, at 5 p.m., there at the meeting of Ratio Christi on the campus of the University of Arizona, we're going to talk about what the Joshua tablet says, and then we're going to show how these words, the inscription that's inside of it, relate to the unique and broader genre of Hebraic meter in which the Bible is written. Viewers will be exposed to hundreds of verses in Genesis and Revelation that illustrate the whole process of Hebraic meter in which the Joshua tablet is also written. Now, there's much to be said about this, and I can be fairly certain that anybody who's listening to my voice right now is not familiar with what we're talking about and has never witnessed the relationship in Hebraic meter between Revelation and Genesis. We'll be delighted to show you these verses and how they appear. We're going to show you a little bit more about the Bible than you thought there was to learn. So for more information about attending this event, we invite you to contact Fritzie Griffiths. She's the coordinator for the organization Ratio Christi. This is her email address. If you wish to attend or view online, contact her at this email address. Thank you, and we hope to see you there.